Hello everyone. We were seeing about a very important and a very everyday experiencing emotion called anger. Today we will see further about it. We saw anger and how things are and how it was processing inside the brain and what it can influence. Emotionally, how anger could influence. To add on to it, there are two more things that I want to tell you. If anger can disguise itself in a very envious and a jealous way, it can disguise itself in a very profound or a very prevalent term called bitterness. Now, what happens when anger is taking a term or taking its disguised form called bitterness? It can make you upset even for a slightest of thing. And also it can make you numb, where your response to anger related situations will be silence. Another thing that affects you emotionally when anger is present is you will quench the love that is inside of you. Anger is very strong emotion and it has the ability of destroying the love that you have for the person. If you have a friend or if you are in a relationship, when you know that the person is hurting you and you are not dealing it or you are not venting out your anger, there will come a point within that relationship or within that friendship that you get so angry, you distance yourself and slowly you quench the love for that person. Anger has to be let out in a very polite and in a very firm and an assertive way. If not, the anger in you will quench the love in you. The next aspect that we'll see how anger can influence or to what extent anger can affect your social aspect of life. If you are an angry person, people will distance them from you and they will label you saying, "Oh, this person gets angry. So have your way, have a safe game with them." Many a times when we grow older, we become grumpy because when we are younger, we repress the emotions within. While we are getting old, we are just unbearable because we don't tolerate. As you grow old, the tolerance level decreases and sometimes you burst out, sometimes you become grumpy, and sometimes you also get irritated for the tiniest of things. You know why it happens? Because you repress so much that one day you cross the limit and you start expressing, which will make others around you see the difference in you. And they will ask you, "Why are you grumpy? Why are you getting angry?" Because all this while you have repressed it. Now, knowingly or unknowingly, or even because you're unable to bear it, you start expressing. The other aspect of your life where your anger can influence is the health aspect of your life. 60 to 80% the illnesses that you get is because it is all emotionally induced on you. The moment you get emotional, the moment this emotion is retained inside of you, there are chances that you get ill because the same hormones which are secreted for stress is the same hormones is secreted when you experience anger. Now, this anger is a very good emotion because it drives you, It is a very dynamic emotion. It has the power to even quench love, the toughest emotion of all. But if it is retained within, it is the very dangerous thing ever you can do it to yourself. You know why? Because when you retain anger within, there are chances that your immunity can go down. Not only anger, but any emotion which is retained within for so long can influence your body. Now, how it influences? Anger, if it is retained, makes the body to release stress hormones, makes your mind or tells your mind that you are always in a threat. And when your body or your brain thinks that you are in threat, things get changed, things get altered, things ruin everything in your body. Cardiovascular diseases, ulcers, and even headaches are caused when anger is retained within. Now, how it affects your body? In all aspects, it affects. If your heart has been affected, what else more? So, if you are retaining your anger, kindly rethink of your anger, and it has to be released or it has to be went out. It affects you to be, or it stops to be matured as a person. Now imagine when you fall down, you cry. As you are growing, when you fall down, you get up, you just dust yourself and you walk. Let's say you are angry as a child when a chocolate is not given. You will not be angry when you are an adult when somebody does not give you chocolate. Rather, you go get a chocolate for yourself. Now, if you allowed anger to retain within about a person or about an incident or an ideology, when the retained anger is there, additional experiences which are related to anger will make sure that the anger is more in you and which will not help you to grow in maturity. Maturity as a person, also in emotion. It will make you unfruitful. There are people who come for counseling just because they get angry. And when we question them, they tell us, I am unable to stick in one job because I get angry. There are individuals who cannot control their anger, or in other words, streamline their anger, and because of it, they lose their job. They are unable to accommodate to their job surrounding. They are unable to accommodate themselves to any surrounding because they cannot control their anger. Today, we saw how anger can affect you emotionally, socially, psychologically, and spiritually. Anger is an important emotion, and that has to be went out in a very firm and a very affirmative way. Retained anger can cause you damage. So take care of you when it comes to anger. So far, we have seen what is anger, how it can influence you, and also the brain part of anger. Now, we will see the reasons behind anger. Now, why do you think we get angry than others? Because there are some differences that we go through as a person. Number one, personality. Now, how personality affects you? Because a fearful person has or prone to anger. In other words, an angry person can have fear within. Fear and anger go hand in hand. One is expressed, the other is behind the scenes. The other reason why you get angry is because of the unfinished business. Now, what do I mean by unfinished business? Is the hurts which are still wounds and not become scars. Imagine a loved one has spoken a word on you. You still have that in your memory, and whenever you relive that memory, the emotion also are coming back to life. Only when you are forgiving that person and only when you're letting go of that incident, you will be healed. So whenever there are wounds which are not becoming scars, you tend to be angry. The other reason for why you are getting angry is your thoughts which are not complete, or you are not having a bigger picture. Example, a child might get agitated or even frustrated when they go through exams, saying, why on earth are exams and who invented exams? Not knowing the bigger aspect or the reason why it is there for them. Many a times when we know or when we realize why things are so or why things happen this way, your anger immediately disappears. So before getting angry, get the whole picture and then decide whether to get angry or not. Sometimes you get so used to express yourself only in the way of anger. If you are a person like that, pause and then realize within and then take action. Another major reason why you get angry is because you are self-centered or ego-centered. We get angry when things don't go our way. Many a times we get agitated when things don't go in the way how we want to be. We need to be flexible even when it touches our ego. We should also know when to be selfless and when to be ego-centered. Another process I would like to tell you of how and what you choose, you become. If you choose to be angry, you will be angry. Now, how your decision or the power of will influence you? Now, when you choose to be angry, this nurture, the thought or the attitude is created in the way or fashioned by anger. This attitude touches the emotion, and this emotion of yours make you do something. So the process of anger is you decide to get angry, and when you decide to get angry, your thought starts popping in, and when your thought comes in, your emotion arises, and when your emotion arises, it fuels for an action. Your decision whether to get angry or not has lot of influence on how you express your anger. So today we saw about how anger, the reason how anger is being expressed, why you get angry and the process of anger. Also, how to pause and frame your anger and express it. Thank you.